Good afternoon and welcome to Cat's Cauldron, a place where you have a voice and we stir it up. Today is a very somber holiday and a very special edition of our show. You will not hear me say Happy Memorial Day, for there is nothing happy about this holiday. Today is a somber remembrance of those who fought and died in the service of their country. Let us remember those lost, honor their sacrifice, and recall their valor, because their sacrifices, because of their sacrifices, first day of my new mouth, honestly, I get a day off and my mouth does not work. Because of their sacrifices, others were able to live. So I'm going to play you a very special excerpts from a very special service that I think you will enjoy. And I have some things to add, and I hope you enjoy the service. Enjoy your time off with your families. Hug your loved ones because they're precious. And time with our loved ones is precious, especially those of you still in uniform.
It is the faithfulness of an almighty, loving God that has blessed us in our brightest moments and sustained us in our darkest hours. It is the faithfulness of an almighty, loving God that has helped us survive our prosperity and endure our poverty. It is the faithfulness of an almighty, loving God that brings us comfort in the face of staggering loss. We salute our heroes who returned from the battlefields that now exist both here and abroad. We remember and revere those who did not return. Throughout the history of this nation, there have been many that have bravely given their lives to preserve, protect, and defend the essentials of freedom. They are fellow citizens who died for the principles and values we should strive to live by. They wore the uniforms of the military, Republic. Our citizens have offered the sacrifice that freedom requires. From the very foundations of the Republic, we have honored those who cherish liberty more than life. Less than a century into our nation's independence, our 16th President, Abraham Lincoln, spoke of this sacrifice and devotion. The time, November 19th, 1863. The event, the dedication of a national cemetery. The place, a little-known village in southern Pennsylvania called Gettysburg. The words, few, but forever inscribed on the heart of a grateful nation. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation,
conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of
that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation
might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this, but in a larger sense,
we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men living and dead who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract.
The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here.
It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that
we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom,
and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. There is no greater love than this, to lay down your life for your friends. Let us stand in silence to honor our mothers and fathers, wives and husbands, sisters and brothers, daughters and sons, our family, neighbors and friends, who gave the last full measure of devotion. We remember. We must never forget.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that presentation, and I hope that you can understand there is a extreme difference between the holidays. Veterans Days are for those who have served. There is Memorial Day for those who have given the ultimate sacrifice, who wore the uniform and never took it off, who went into battle and suffered and died and sacrificed for us and for our freedoms. So when people tell me, thank you for your service, I understand that it's such a kind gesture and they mean well. My response is always, you're so kind to do that, and I appreciate the sentiment, but this is a day for those who sacrificed all. So I leave you with that. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I look forward to spending time with you again. As always, you can find me on Spreaker, www.spreaker.com. Search for CATS, C-A-T-S, Cauldron, C-A-U-L-D-R-O-N. And you'll find me there. Of course, you can find my lovely face right there. Anchor, Google Podcasts, Getter, iHeartRadio, Reddit, Spotify, TikTok, and we are growing leaps and bounds on TikTok. Thank you. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I have a new one. I'm on Truth Social. Look me up. We'll talk. If you need to email me, CATSBULLOCK 007@gmail.com because, you know, I'm just like James Bond, baby. I got you. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want to talk about. And we've got this. Have a wonderful afternoon. And please take a moment to remember those who gave it all. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.